Yeah is something that I learned from Taika. It's used both as a motivator of like, yes, this is happening, but it also can be a secret push. We'll get to that in a second. So you'll notice in my examples, they're all one word or two words, right? That's about all we want to say. Oh my gosh, Bo, good job. I'm so proud of you. Took about 3 or 4 strokes where people were listening to you and not focusing on their timing or their strength.
I also really appreciate if they say it in rhythm with the paddling.
Yes. Yes. We will totally get there. For sure.
So much better.
Who in this crew really likes to hear the word timing said on a boat? Oh, nobody? Oh, right. It is the #1 hated call on any boat.
What does it mean?
What does it all mean? Right? It's very unspecific. It is a little bit judgmental. We usually have a bad intention when we are saying it. I am mad at you. Be more in time. It's not my job to be more in time. It's yours. So if you are... But, I mean, on the other hand, the timing is the first thing to go on any boat. Like, people get in their heads, get tired, get emotional, or space out, which all are sure to happen on a boat.
Basically 2 hours.
Yeah, right? You're going to do all of those things 17,000 times. So your timing will be effective. So, I mean, what are calls that you've heard on our boats that you do like for getting us back into
Sometimes counting the first 4 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that helps with timing.
How many sides would you like that for?
Not every side. Only up to, yeah.
2 sides.
Maybe like 2 sides. 2 sides.
But it helps.
About right for you.
Call, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's used to sort of keep them from dropping.
Right.
True also.
Right. Yeah.
I think together is a great one.
Together.
Because everybody is just
Right.
reach.
Feel it. Feel it. I like that. Feel it. Mm-hmm. Reach. Mm-hmm. Does everybody know what we're expecting when one says reach?
Not in the dragon boat.
You're not the only one, I promise.
Not in this boat. I don't get it.
Right?
Yeah.
Who thinks reach is this? Good, I'm so glad. Because that's not what it means at all.
For me, reach really means focus.
Yeah.
It's like, here's your chance. Get it back together.
Yeah.
Stopping powers.
Stopping powers.
Yes.
Sure. Is stopping powers like power, power, power? Ah.
You know that?
Right? But haven't we all done it?
Like that.
I mean, I've been on my 7th power in Dragon Boat, and I'm like, goddamn tired. And I just want to rest. And so that reach was like, okay, I'm just going to go a little less than I normally go on a reach. I've done that. Have you? I go by that.
When they say reach it out.
I just said that in front of folks. Right? So
Sometimes
sometimes,
we're in a power, okay, reach it out. And then everybody drops.
Right.
Well, they drop the intensity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I used to
But
say
the reason
80%.
Reach It Out originated as
No,
coming
no.
out power call was because we didn't want to, you don't want to say something like,
Right.
bring it down.
Set
Because you
it.
don't want that. You're trying to say, okay, you built some hull speed, you put some extra effort in, now lengthen your bodies again.
I say 80%.
Work with the boat.
If people, I usually
Yeah.
use 80%.
So I think it's a great example, one, of how a call becomes, like, it develops a history, right? Like, reach has been around for years, huh? And it's gone through permutations of what it means. So, like, for now, I'm just, like, reiterating that reach is about, you just were in a push, now go back to technique. I want your focus on your technique. Perfect, perfect, perfect is what reach means. So just, like, solidify that in your head for the next time you're tired.
What about front water? Do you like that one, or are you everybody's gonna start doing this thing?
That's what I see. That's what I see.
Because that's been
I see people reach more, and I don't want that in the OC. I will leave it to the dragon boaters to say what they want.
But I think front order is good because that way people aren't, they're trying to get front order.
So again, what I'm going to offer is your coach is going to be saying things about new techniques over this year. And I'm going to give you some new things to say, like catch is going to be a new word. I want catch to be used on our boats.
And
What that
means what?
means is a push and then this, right? Like this, solidify that in the water and then pull your body to it. So that instead of front water, right?
Which is really the same thing.
It is, but we go like this for front.
It's all interpretation.
It is. It totally is.
And which feels, it has a different feel in that very narrow space.
Especially if you paddle with different coaches or different teams or different groups, everybody, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate that you're here because we're like, those are supposed to mean the same thing, front water and catch. So sometimes that can help us like reframe for everybody.
Right. That's one of the things that's tough about any coaching or calling is you have both your message you're trying to deliver, the words you use, and the people's interpretations or perceptions of them and how they start to become something. Front water can have a bad effect sometimes because people will just do this. They want to just stay here in the front. Well, that's not a full stroke, so it's not returning to technique, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's just one of those. It's a little less effective maybe because of that. Right.
So again, as callers, you're going to be playing with all of that and watch for what makes your boat move faster. If catch just went whoosh, then you're going to use that again. If you use reach and it went maybe think of something else. Cool.
I like the sound effects.
Yeah, I try. All right. Power. That word. Very common call, right? For every kind of sport. And I have watched over and over how in practices we call power now. Nothing happened. Or the only thing that happened was this. And we all just started pouncing again, right? So I want to like kind of take power out of our lexicon for a little bit. We may come back to it someday. But I have seen our boats pick up faster when we say back half of the stroke, when we have said push, gives us a little bit more than a power. Actually, one of the things that gets us going faster is if you feel the boat go faster and then say, yeah, right there. You then keep that speed rather than make somebody do something new, because we've already found it, right? And that can be a real strategy if you're racing. Like, wait for the power to come to you and then say, yes, 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 right there. Just as a quick note, power calls in practice should never be more than 6 sides. And 6 is usually at the end of a pyramid, right? Or a peak of a pyramid. In a race, you should never be powering calls for more than 2 sides. Because again, you're insulting that everybody has not been powering for that whole race, right? We have, and we're exhausted.
When you talk about side, do you mean left, right?
Yeah.
So
One side, 2 side.
Oh.
So not one set.
And that's the longest you want to go. Like often in a race, you're calling push calls, which are more about like the first 5 to 10 strokes of one side, right?
So we're not doing power to the bridge.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that because I haven't thought all of this through.
Oh, that's amazing. I just use it a lot.
Right. I think my difference is that power now or power for 2 now get you only so much power. People often stop powering on the second side. I don't know if any of you have felt that on our boats, but we usually do. So power to the bridge or push to the bridge is a totally fine call because that gives people a purpose. That's a purpose call.
So
It's
even
almost like the
for,
first one is like right now,
Mhm. Mhm.
and the other one is, we're gonna go for a while, gauge this power. It's not like 100% necessarily.
Right.
It could be 90
Yeah.
to the bridge or something.
I think power to the bridge or push to the bridge actually is a hunger call for me. Like what it happens for me is I'm like, I want that.
and it refocuses everybody.
Yeah,
I use
I'm
the
like,
word refocus.
I want to work for that. And so I get my like, okay, I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna go, and I got this, and now I'm tired, but I'm still gonna go, and I'm still gonna go. And then I got there, yeah, I got there.
And it focuses everybody.
That's what happens in my head.
Why didn't they just give me
That would be
Yeah.
5 miles to go, let's go.
Yeah.
410. So often I will call. Now I can see it right. I'm not using power, but 410s, powerful 410s. Because I will bring the. I learned this just from racing one time. That this one coach had us instead of whatever we're calling the 13 or 14 or whatever this group calls. Sometimes if you go to 410s, it really focuses
What does
you
that
and it
mean,
gets the boat up
410?
and running.
That you actually reduce how many
Yeah.
strokes on its side.
10
then-
power
Oh,
strokes.
four,
So you do
yeah,
10
yeah,
and
yeah.
10
Yeah.
rather than 15 and 15.
Say 4/10.
I like
Sorry.
I like the shortening of sides for powers, and the caller and the hut hoer can talk about that. Like, call this one for 10.
Oh.
But again, I'm gonna start pushing back on the like structured 4 sides of this thing because I have not watched it work very well.
So-
We respond well to
Or
other
even
kinds.
So
Call
when,
a focus.
when you're out there in the ocean and you don't have bridges,
Mm-hmm.
how can you find the target to
Mhm.
help people get that motivation?
So if we're racing in say the gorge, you got landmarks on each side of you that you can race towards.
Queen Lily
Racing around people like other boats
Yeah.
is more of your thing. Of like stay with them,
Yeah.
like take a bench.
Alright.
That stuff gets people going.
Yeah, that's what
Because I chase you.
Yeah, you know these things.
Do you ever
Go
call rate up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's going to get more into race strategy, and we will see it in some of our video.
Okay.
Rate ups really need to be they're really about wave and water movement. Like you should not be changing rate if your water did not change,
Okay. Oh.
right? So again, your 1 and 2 are feeling water all times. If you just got sluggish, you're going to go slower, sluggish. I'm not entirely sure.
Do you need energy?
It is kind of impossible to like cap it out in a sluggish water. Like that just hurts, I think. Help me out because I don't sit in one very much, so I'm not entirely sure.
What do you mean?
In seat 1, if you were in sluggish water, like on that sandbar, you wouldn't go faster. You wouldn't cap.
No,
Yeah.
well, I might. If you're in like a sandbar or something, I think you might just call it, hey, it's shallow here.
Yeah.
To make the
trying to
steering
get
person
out of
aware,
there, like-
aware, and then everybody will know. I think they kind of adjust, like they're not gonna throw a lot of
Yeah.
arm and shoulder or whatever into it because it's gonna hurt.
So usually in oncoming water that's going slower, you want a longer through the water stroke. You want to grab more water because the more time you spend out of the water, the more time you are moving backwards, right? When you are going with the current, your blade is automatically going to move faster through the water. However, if you still want to be catching that water, you need to be more strategic about grabbing it. So the rate isn't necessarily just faster. It's like you got to do the same catch and pull that we're doing, but a little bit faster recovery.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll be working on that as a paddle thing. And then also rate ups happen for getting on waves. And I will not talk about wave strategy right now. That will be for later.
So, I think I either have to be in a boat in a race or somehow because I'm
Yes,
not.
you will be. You pretending the collar training as a brand new person who's never been in a race. None of this is going to make sense until you're in a race and you're like, oh shit, that's what So you will. What else was I gonna say about this?
Last time y'all said that to me.
Okay, so the other thing I would say about this is I've talked about this a few times. Where you're at in your practice totally matters about what calls get you more speed. When you are in the beginning of something that's adrenaline high, so like a race, push calls, power calls only make people freak out. Any call that's to get more speed should be first a measured, like, you got this, Bo. On the change, we are going to push. Now, do you see how I just brought the, like, feel down into the body? And it was like strategic push. So we're having to remind people that they have brains and they need to pedal with their brains in the first part of a race. In the mid part of a race, that is when people are bored, spacing out, thinking about I still have to make the turn and go back. Oh my god. So that is where grit calls become really relevant. Of like, no, you got this. You are gonna paddle harder. I am going to be the stern parent for you because I know you can do this, right? So that kind of flair. And then in the end of a practice, I really focus in on meaning of like, how bad do you want it? What is your motivation for this? Find it. Like that find it call. Why is this important to you? Because anyone will paddle harder for something that means something to them. I think you maybe have been there at some point in your life. Did I say something?
No, she didn't.
I haven't drank beer in forever too, I just like to say.
Paddle for beer.
When you do have something like you're coming back from having been up at Selwood or something, and you come under the Markham Bridge and you start to see our dock.
Yeah.
And
like
it's
a
a lot
horse.
easier to say, how did the end of the dock?
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
you know, because it's in short
Yeah.
parts and people can see where to go.
Yeah.
When you're out there in the middle of nowhere, it's like, ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Small, biteable chunks. You are creating a long distance into small, biteable chunks. It is only here for 500 meters. That's all you need to do. Now that's all you need to do. Now that's all you need to do. Don't think about the long thing. Try not to.
So the average, okay, just be honest with me, so an average race really is like mileage? Like,
8 to 10. Our races are about 8 to 10. So most of our boats will be in the water for an hour to 2 hours.
whoa.
Yeah. And paddling without stopping.
Yeah.
And paddling harder than you do in practice. Yes. So that will give you some perspective about the 10K that you're supposed to do, which is only going to take you 45 minutes to an hour. That's short.
That's on erg.
Huh?
The different. That's on erg. Though.
I mean, it's
It's a little different.
well, you know, in time. Okay, so here are some of those examples. Things that have like 3 words, like this one, I like went on the stroke. Long, hard, pull, right? I wrote these a lot longer. These are all long. So maybe these aren't all the best, but push mouth is a good one. Next side.
I thought it was, yours like giving people ages. How did you tell people
This one is about a Garmin. If you have a speed reader on your boat, this is a highly effective call. You just call out the number, 71. Oh, people are gonna keep 71. They're gonna be like, yes, we're fucking there. If they're at like 5'2", bring it, you know? So that's a highly effective call. How are we doing? Good? Anyone overwhelmed yet?
I have a question that's paddling related. If I'm a paddler and you said straight arm of the D, what's my response?
Yes, this is a drill that we